Yo, what is up, YouTube, man? Is a 7'3" center too slow for Park in NBA 2K25? Specifically 3v3, because obviously on 2v2, speed's not going to be a factor. I got a few gameplays for you guys to see today of me on my 7'3" center going up against the type of center builds you'll see in Park. You'll see I go up against a 7-footer, which a lot of people are going to use. I go up against one of those 6'7" to 6'9", pretty much pure lock popper center builds. And then in this first gameplay, I'm actually going up against one of the more rare type of centers you will see, which is a 6'10" shooting, dribbling, dunking, you know, just kind of do it all build. And I'm in the theater playing with randoms, because if you're with a squad, it's not that big of a deal. You're probably going to be playing with pretty good players around you. They can kind of hide your lack of speed, your lack of perimeter defense you're going to have on a 7'3" center. But you can see starting right off, I get the ball in the paint, I go up with the standing dunk. Right here, you're going to see I actually do get a contest because I jump. Now, on a 7'3" center, the benefits of this build are going to be rebounding. Obviously, if I'm in the paint, I'm going to get rebounds like crazy. But if I do have to contest a shooter and I'm not going to be in the paint, I'm not going to be able to get back there fast enough. It's not really going to be ideal, and you might give up situations like that where...
Damn, bro. Wasted possessions. Oh, good too. Bro, this shit is buggy as fuck, bro. This game is still ass. I'm on an Ethernet cable. This shit is still buggy.
And you can hear, man. I'm gonna let the teammates kind of talk. You know, they're gonna be frustrated about the game.
Shit, the game before.
Whether it's their fault.
He scored 9 points, but he gave up 13, and nigga only had 2 assists.
Which most of the time, you know, when people are complaining about 2K, it is their fault. Or it is the game, which, you know, we all know about the RNG. We all know about the random crazy things happening. You can see right here, man. I got 2 people on me. I can definitely go up with that. But I have a teammate wide open on the three-point line. And even if he misses, I'm going to be able to get the rebound most likely. And I'm not going to annoy him for not dotting him wide open right here. I play the lane to the corner. And that is not something that a 7'3" center...
Damn!
You can see, man, he shoots a very early, says he taps it.
Back,
a 7'3" is not going to be great at stealing lanes,
but
it is possible. And if you're a good player, you know, you time it at the right time, you'll be able to get some good steals. I do not consider that one of the weaknesses of having a 7'3" center in the Park. Now, obviously, if you're playing on a 6'7", you know, two-way, glass cleaning, whatever, with 94 steal, Hall of Fame, legend interceptor, then you're going to be able to be very baity. You're going to be able to get a lot more steals. And in a quick game like 3v3 Park, where the game only goes to 21, getting a few more steals a game
threes to keep motherfuckers from just sitting in there
is going to be a lot more beneficial, you know. A 7'3" center is going to be a lot better in 5v5 compared to 3v3. Obviously, nobody is arguing that. Now, you see me with a block right there, man. Another benefit of this build, I got Anthony Edwards on my team, especially with the max wingspan. I can block way better than a lot of other builds can now. Obviously, if you're shorter, you're going to be faster. That might be able to get you some more chase down blocks. But if you know how to just be a paint defender, I mean, you guys can see, get a couple blocks. Unfortunately, they end up getting the dunk anyway. Blocks are not always the highest value, because sometimes you might just block it right back into their hands, which happens way more than it should, honestly. They leave me open at the top of the key. A lot of people would consider that another weakness of having a 7'3" center. Your shooting's not going to be as good as a shorter build. But in NBA 2K25, honestly, if you know your jump shot, you can be consistent enough. Yes, you know, being shorter, you're going to have your rating a bit better. You're going to get access to some better jump shots. But the difference is not that significant. And as this first game ends...
What? These bailouts, 2K in this RNG, this is the worst thing. And you can put an RNG in a game is wild.
As you guys can see, man, I had the benefits this game, you know. My build was the clear advantage on the court. Now, I thought, you know, maybe the guy I was going up against was going to be tough contesting the shot on the perimeter. I wasn't going to be able to get a lot of rebounds, and I didn't really get that many rebounds. I only got a couple. But what I was doing was scoring with this build. Inside, getting some dunks, pick and roll. I got a couple shots right here. We're going up against a 7'4" 7-foot center. And the lineup we're going up against actually is a pretty common lineup you'll see in the park. A point guard, you know, 6'2", 6'4", doesn't matter. A lock, they got a 6'7". You know, sometimes you will see somebody with a 6'4" lock, and then they'll have the 7-footer. All he's going to do is set screens and grab rebounds. Now, a 7'3" compared to a 7-footer battling in the paint, I'm not really going to have as clear of a advantage posting him up, dunking on him, like I would the shorter builds that I played against. And I'm not really going to have a rebounding advantage like that. Honestly, having a 7-footer compared to a 7'3" in 3v3 park has every single advantage. You know, maybe I can dunk a little bit better. Maybe my post scoring is going to be slightly better than the 7-footers. But having him as a defensive matchup, we can probably get better looks than me trying to drop step him in the paint, post spin him, you know, hit him with a post hook, post hop shot, standing dunk meter. This, I would say, is the only matchup where he clearly has the advantage. Now, if I'm going up against anybody that's below 7 foot, if I got a 6'10" on me, if I got a 6'7" on me, it doesn't matter about their defensive stats. It doesn't matter that they have way more steal than me. It doesn't matter that they're much better at shooting than me. The clear advantage I'm going to have against all types of those builds is I'm going to be way better on the boards. As long as I get position, if you let him box you out, that's your fault. And I'm going to be able to basically get a free 2 anytime I want. Now, that doesn't mean I have to take a free 2, and you can see right here, man, 6'8" is what I'm talking about. High steal. This one's actually got pretty good driving dunk, good shooting. The ones I was mainly talking about are the max wingspan 6'7" back-end type builds. But this guy's build's actually better for park. He actually has still the great defense, and he's got shooting that's going to make it tough for me to have to contest him. And he's going to have some dunking ability to where if he gets past me, my build's not going to be too fast at catching up. You can see, man, too. I'm going to drop to the paint. I'm going to dare him to shoot. That's something that I'm going to have to just kind of live with, especially playing with randoms. I can't let the other team dunk all game. If he starts hitting some shots, then we shall see. Overall, man, is a 7'3" center too slow for park? No. 7'3" centers move plenty fast in NBA 2K25. Now, obviously, it's not meta. And if you're wanting to just pick and roll, pick and pop, you know, if you're not willing to actually bully somebody in the paint and use your size advantage for scoring, then it will be not worth it. But if you want to pick and roll, pick and pop, but you also want to actually, you know, do things like you see me doing, get position, get standing dunk meters, hit a drop step, hit a post spin, then a 7'3" center will be a lot of fun. But you're going to feel slow a lot of games, and that's just is what it is. You just got to kind of take your advantages and take your disadvantages, man. If you guys did enjoy the video, if you do want to drop a like and subscribe, of course, I do appreciate it a ton. This is Tonic, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.